Have you ever wondered why in life certain things that are very simple, very straightforward, you sometimes don't take the proper actions and the proper precautions to do those things? Like, it's so easy to do. It's so easy to accomplish. It's straightforward, but you end up not doing it. Like, I started to realize this myself growing up. What's easy to do is also sometimes not easy to do. Like, we get a task, we get a test, we know it's set in stone, it's straightforward, and this can sometimes be a life-changing, action or situation. We end up not doing it. Growing up, I started to realize that my dad would say this saying, do as I say and not as I do. He would always say that, do as I say and not as I do. And I always used to wonder, wonder why he would say that. But then I came to a realization of why he did. He said that, because it's easy to say. It was easy for him to tell me to listen to what he says, but his actions never followed sometimes. And I'm not bashing my dad. He's a great dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using this as one snippet as far as of a conversation or just exchange of words that he had with me and my siblings. Like, he would, and his other parents or just people out here say, do as I say, not as I do. That is very detrimental to a child or to the person who's even saying it. Okay, I'm going to do as I say. I'm going to say this, say that. But then your actions say something totally different. When it's so easy, so typical, it's so straightforward, and you never do it. Today's video, I'm going to touch on some key things, some key points on how you can follow through on what's easy and what comes easy to you, or it's a simple, easy life task to get done. And so now you can just go ahead and apply it and do it and get it over with so you can reach the highest version of yourself, reach and go to the next level. Because life has levels, man. You got life, just like life has different seasons, you know what I'm saying, for different situations. For you and for me, we have different levels on our life, and we have to tackle those, especially the small actions, those small things that we can get done. So let's get into it. So the first thing, the power of small actions, like I touched on before. Like, you can't jump straight onto a bike without training wheels. You got to start with the training wheels, then hop on a bike. We have to understand that those small actions, if we cannot, this is like with finances or anything in life. If you cannot handle the small amount of money that you do have right now, do not expect, if you hit the lottery or something like that, or if you hit the jackpot as far as a business venture or something like that, don't expect that you're able to sustain and handle a big amount of money or lots of money. It's just common sense. Your mindset and your wealth set has to be, your mindset has to be, and your wealth set has to be on the same plane. And as you grow, now you have a bigger opportunity for your wealth to grow as well. And so I started to realize that, if I'm not able to sustain and secure and budget, invest with the money I do have right now into myself, I won't be able to do that. The money that I do get, if I stumble across millions of dollars or billions of dollars, it'll just multiply who I am already right now. So we have to understand that we have to be able to tackle and do small actions. That is so important. Mastering the small actions will aid you in heading or handling big actions. Mastering your small actions will aid you in mastering and just handling big actions in your life. We have to understand that. In order for you to move on in life, you got to understand, okay, I got to be able to handle this small goal, and then it snowballs, and then it becomes a huge goal that you've accomplished. And now you are ready to move forward. So understand it. Understand also, just habits or routines. Your habits have to be in alignment in order for you to do easy things that you know you can do and get done. So you have to understand building positive habits and maintaining a routine on it will cause it to it'll cause you to make less steps behind. It will cause you to, move forward in an incline. And it'll be a growth that you've never seen before, and sometimes people, they fear growing. They fear doing those easy things because they know that maybe something hard or may unlock something new that you never experienced. Like, we have to understand that life is movement. Life is experiences. Life is, based upon how we see this physical realm. So we have to be able to move in such a way that aids us to live better in the future. Live better even in the now. Because now that I just said now, seconds ago, it's already the past. So we have to understand that our habits and our routines have to be in alignment, in divine alignment with ourselves. Everybody's habits and routines are, not fit for everybody. And so you will then have less life frustration. Like, I started to realize as I wrote things down, as I managed my time, as I just created good habits for myself, affirming my day, getting good sunlight, eating healthy, having healthy thoughts, healthy routines, reading. This is the simplistic stuff that we're supposed to do that we look over sometimes. I've understood that I had to master those things in order to progress, in order to be able to not procrastinate and stuff like that. So your mindset matters so much. Where you set your mind will dictate how your life goes, how you live it, how it flows. And you just have to understand that setting your mind in the best possible environment is so key. It's so important. What you tune into is what you turn into. What you tune into will then cause you to do those things that whatever you tune into does. It's that simple. And so it'll cause you to not be in a place to accomplish things or tackle very small goals, or just not goals, but just tasks in life. It's crazy. Like, I know so many just older people, grown folk, like, who have kids and just who already lived many years of experiences, can't complete a simple task. And that's something that we have to master, especially in 2024. So understand that. And we also got to understand, okay, why am I doing this? You got to ask that question, why are you doing this? Like, certain habits or routines you have, you got to ask yourself, is this leading me towards the highest version of myself? Is this leading me towards pleasure, my pleasure, what I want to get out of life, the fruits of my labor? And so we have to understand what's motivating us. We got to understand the difference between intrinsic motivation or extrinsic motivation, because intrinsic motivation comes from inside. You know what I mean? And usually when you have intrinsic motivation to do something, it's easy and you actually do it. You take action on it because it's coming from within. You genuinely love and you're very passionate about doing it. Versus if you're extrinsic about it, it'll cause you to not do it. Money, outside things causes you to be motivated by doing it. Money, attention from other people, anything outside of you that is not, genuinely how you feel, and that'll move you towards what you actually are motivated in doing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand it off the bat. What you set your mind on, it'll expand. Like, it'll cause your mind to expand that thought, that situation. That's why I had to realize that my mindset does matter. It matters so much how I think about things. I have to think very abundantly in order to move forward, in order to do what's easy to me and for me. Understand that time management and prioritizing things that are really for like needed for you to just move forward, stuff that you're into, stuff that is like fits your life, your purpose, like it's super important. Like there's a 80-20 rule. Like 80% of your outcome is really, it comes from and is due to 20% of your effort. Like we could look at a small example of like how the minority, like the small amount of people or wealthy people in America or just in the world in general control the majority of the people's like income or money and the money flow and everything like that. That's usually how it is, and you see that throughout history and everything like that. But just in general, we have to understand that if we just lock in on the very key couple things, key few things, make a whole list of things that you need to get done, but just focus on 20% of the things out of that list, just the core stuff, you'll then see a drastic growth. Like if you focus on, reading every day. Like for me, reading, praying, meditating, affirming my day, like top of the morning type things, exercising, getting sunlight, a few core things that I have to do constantly every single day. You'll start to understand that, like, okay, if I do these, like, these are gonna move me towards fulfillment, towards sustaining my highest being, and I'll be able to reach my fullest potential. You have to also understand that, like, you could write a list. You could do something like, as far as like a must do. This is something I must do. This is something I should do. This is something I could do. And this is really something I won't do. It's called like the Moscow analysis or something like that. I looked it over a few. It just makes sense. Do things that you must do. Put that at the top. These are the things I must do. These are the things I should do. I could do. These are probably some things I won't do. So just break it down for your benefit. Because if you don't, you won't be able to even do the easiest task. You'll always be, behind in life, in your life. Understand that you have to avoid procrastination and distractions. Like, and sometimes procrastination, it just comes to a point to where, like I said, you're fearing something that's for you. You're fearing, okay, if I do this, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't play out how I want it? But like, we have to, better questions are better answers. You will receive better answers by asking better questions. So a better question would be, how would I feel when I achieve this? How will I live? What kind of car will I drive? How much money will I have? How will I be able to bless others? You know what I mean? You gotta start thinking more abundantly, more positive, because life is all about, you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So you gotta have faith regardless. You gotta have faith. Are you gonna have faith in negative things or in positive things? It's really that simple. And so, and it is usually the only thing that'll get you to the results that you want in life. So things that usually a lot of things that I procrastinate on in life, or anybody in general, it's usually the things that move the needle towards your success, your fulfillment, things that you want. And a lot of times we don't do it because we fear. You know what I'm saying? We procrastinate. We're like, it's a lot. It seems like a lot of work. Living life is hard. You got to this point through a lot of work. You might as well finish it with a lot of work. Good work. Work that'll get you towards what you want in life. It's that simple. A lot of people don't see that, and they'll realize when somebody else is dictating their life and controlling their income and controlling their life, controlling how they think, how they feel, how they move, how they feel on the job. It'll get deep. It's gonna get real scary for that person or anybody who's not wanting to grow and take control. It'll get real scary for them. So you have to, sometimes even with distraction, you got to change your association. That's something that I did early on this year, in the middle, and like in the end of the year. I cut so many people off for their betterment. Not even for me too, but like also for them. Like, I had to realize that my association is going to expand how I live. Like, I needed to be around more like-minded people, more personal growth, more, God-led, like truly God-led, like actually seeking the highest version of themselves, staying connected to source, doing things that are fulfilling and worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? So I had to change my association. That'll help you, stay focused, and they'll hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying? In a sense. And that gets me to my next point as far as accountability and support. It's so important, man. Like, and you got to start with, life is built off systems. So you got to start with your own system first. Your self-sustaining system of just accountability, or just establishing a system within yourself so you can be open to having an accountability partner or support group or support team or good business partners. This is something I'm learning as I grow. It just makes a lot of sense. Who you surround yourself with, it'll create your life. It'll dictate how you move, how you live in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Like, time is not slowing down on us or stopping for us. We got to move different. We got to move better. And so you have to also really just study divine and successful systems. Study divine and successful systems in order to have something to like bring to your system to personalize or customize for yourself. Like, so you got to tune into good things, read more books, listen to more personal development books, listen to better audios, turn off that rap or that trap music that is not feeding you any good energy. Friends, family, brother, sister, mom, dad, don't matter, man. If they not for you, they not for you. If they not with you, they not with you. So you got to understand that. And so also you got to take some time to self-reflect and just be adaptive, like be able to adapt. So self-reflection, that also includes meditating or prayer. Like, that is so crucial. Like, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, so we have to understand that we have to be in alignment with our spirit as well, and be open to that, and understand that, like, you won't be able to move in this physical realm very smoothly if you're not connected to source, to God. It's so crucial. And so a daily dose of asking yourself what went well or what did not go so well, and how can you improve for the better, will move you towards being able to make easier decisions, be able to tackle easier tasks, be able to live an easier life in terms of I can combat, I am prepared for anything that comes my way because I know it's coming. These seasons, the winter seasons, or just the experience seasons, like, it's going to teach you something. It is here for a reason. It is here for a reason. So we have to understand it. Life is like seasons. Like I said, you have to embrace them. You have to embrace them because it has to work, or it has to work. Like, work works. It's going to work. If you put in the work, you're going to reap the benefits. It's just a matter of when. Staying there long enough so you can, like, this stuff I'm learning from my mentor, I think Myron Golden. He said, like, staying there long enough and you'll reap the benefits. That's real talk. And I'm starting to see that as I stay more present, or I stay more locked in into what I'm doing for the betterment of myself. And lastly, I want to say, just work on balancing consistency and flexibility. Like, staying consistent, like I said, input, focus on inputs. I know I said goals, but don't focus so much on goals. Focus more on inputs. I'm going to do this every single day. Don't focus on, like, you're looking for this particular output. Let's focus on, okay, what am I going to do? That's the input in order to have that output. to have that fruits of your labor. So you got to focus on that. You should have continuous effort to make your life better, without a doubt. Without a doubt in mind, you are always supposed to be moving that needle towards the betterment of your life. You also have to focus on what will make things in your, make things easier, or that'll move things in your favor. You don't need to be balanced to do this, though. You just need to have a balanced understanding. Because a lot of people don't understand. Like, I had to understand, like, you ain't got to be balanced. Like, you're not going to balance out, but you're not going to balance out everything in your life. Like I said, life is a season. Like, everything is going to change, it's going to move, it's going to do its thing. You have to be in a balanced state of understanding that you need to focus and lock on, especially the key thing, the core thing in your life that needs to be improved, that is very easy to understand and easy to do. You got to lock in on that. You got to focus. So just have a balanced understanding and be flexible. Understand that, like, you may set out this outcome and it may not play out that way. Adjust. A lot of people do it in sports or do it in business. You know what I'm saying? You got to adjust to the market. You got to adjust to the game, shot clock, all that. So, yeah. What's easy to do is not always easy to do. It's not always easy. You got to understand that. What's easy to do and what comes easy to most is not always easy to do, or to act on, or to create, or to do, because of many factors like I spoke on today. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. Or, like I always say, do as you please. And I will see you in the next video. All love.